Haunt Squad is on all of your favorite social media sites. You can find us at facebook.com/HauntSquad, twitter.com/HauntSquad, instagram.com/Haunt_squad, and search Haunt Squad on YouTube for podcast episodes and investigation videos. Stay spooky with Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad.
Mr. Cahill, my name is Carl Kolchak. I'm with the Independent News Service. I was at the garage yesterday.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't, but you did. And I wish you'd tell me about it.
A headless motorcycle rider swinging a sword, but nobody will believe me.
In a world filled with supernatural phenomena, 3 explorers of the unknown answer the real questions concerning the field of paranormal investigation. Vinny Gomez, Natalie Jane, and Mike Wolfer guide you to the depths of paranormal studies, creepy movies, games, and comics, and more from the world of horror and geek culture. Turn out the lights, turn on your EMF detector, and prepare yourself for the Haunt Squad podcast.
This old ship seems to have a life of its own.
What is it with this ship? It's like it's running itself.
This ship needs blood, Marshal.
I don't know. I just don't know. Well, our intro music for this episode, that was Ides of March with Vehicle. And as usual, there's a reason. But before we get to that...
I'm Vinny.
Hey, I'm Mike.
Natalie Jane.
And we're Haunt Squad.
Yes, we are.
Yes. What the theme?
Yeah,
We
you
have
came
a
up
theme?
with... You came up
Oh,
with
I
this
came
one.
up with
Yeah.
the theme. Oh, I'm playing dumb then.
Yeah, well... what else is no? Vinny's the dumb guy,
I'm
right?
the dumb guy.
I play the guy who's stuck in the 70s. Yeah.
And Natalie?
She's a smart one.
What?
Oops.
Yeah, so we're taking you through the world of the paranormal and movies and TV shows and comics and all sorts of horror-related geek stuff.
Heck yeah.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in TV land.
Too much.
So much.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
I know.
There's so many shows. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, I do know where to begin.
Okay.
You have the list right there.
First of all, hey, did you watch Supergirl?
No, I just saw on the Xbox that it came up as a preview, and I want to actually watch it. I should have watched it. Was it good?
I'm not going to say since you didn't watch it. Next.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I liked about it?
What?
It was fun.
Oh.
It was fun. It had a bunch of characters who were like, hey, this is cool. We're having fun. And there's some, kind of disagreeable characters, and there's some bad people. But, overall, it was good. And, what's her name? The actress who plays Supergirl?
I don't know.
She was good.
Yeah.
I don't know her
It
name.
wasn't like the movie that came out back in the 80s.
You mean like the
was,
one with Helen Slater?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I hope not. But
Not
it's only been one episode, so.
Yeah, not a clue.
No.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But, I don't know. I liked her attitude.
Yeah.
She was just fun. It was nice to watch a show where they weren't, I have so much angst. It was great. She's like, well, I got some great powers. I'm going to go punch some people. It was cool.
Did Superman make an appearance?
No. I mean, I don't think he was in the shadows or anything like, like where they implied anything. They did mention him.
Yeah, well, they had like little
Yeah.
flashbacks, but you didn't see his face or anything. So.
Yeah. But it was cool. The only downside I thought the effects, digital effects, could use a little tweaking. They're a little not quite there. And for me, it had to do with the weight of the characters. A lot of times with digital, it looks great, but they don't feel like they're in the real world because they don't look like they have any physical weight.
Gotcha.
Now, I know Supergirl is supposed to, defy gravity and she can fly and all that good stuff.
Right.
But there was still something about it that I'm not sure how to explain it. You guys that have seen it, you may know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
You don't?
No, I'm nothing popped out at me. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen that with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything else. When when they show some sort of a special effect, it's not. You could tell it's not movie quality. You could tell, like, I see where Mike is coming from. There's no weight behind it. It just seems like, oh, okay, well, we'll put that in later.
A thing is floating.
Yeah,
and it's doing
it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
I see it, but you know what? If the story's okay and the acting's good,
it's not like Babylon 5 effects or something. So,
was that really good? I never saw that.
The story was great, but the effects weren't that good.
Oh.
Yeah, that wasn't the greatest.
A friend of ours, Mike Mundy, he was telling us about Space 1999. I don't know if you remember that.
No,
I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, Space 1999, it was so cool, man. The commercials for that show, the commercials were great. And I remember seeing an episode or two and saying, oh, wow, I can't wait till they show those spaceships again. But he's got the whole thing on DVD.
Okay.
And he said it's practically unwatchable. The shows are so slow, but the effects were really cool.
Yeah.
But this show, I give it a thumbs up.
Okay.
At least after the first episode.
First episode's pretty good. Okay. Okay.
What?
What else have you been watching?
Well, The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
Walking Dead has been incredible. And one of the things I wanted to explain is that we record these shows 2 at a time, and we record every Thursday. So the last show that we watched was the big one with Glenn.
Oh.
I mean, you guys by now already know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that was the last one we saw.
Yeah.
We did not see the hour-and-a-half follow-up episode that would, when you guys are hearing this, it would have been this past Sunday night.
Exactly.
So we're behind. So all we can do is talk about 2 weeks ago.
Well, what do you think?
You know what? I'll tell you what I think.
What do you think?
Right, spoilers, if you guys don't know what's going on, leave the room. Well, it appeared that Glenn was killed. And it was very shocking.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it.
Well, I don't know. His intestines were up in his face.
Those were Nicholas's intestines.
I think so.
Yeah. No, to me, it didn't even come off like he did die. I mean, it was just like, and I'm looking at Mike, I'm like, they wouldn't do that. The writers, it would be I said this would be a kick in the crotch to the fans and to the character.
Yeah.
And it was, to me, it was. Like, after, watching it again, it was quite obvious. He was crying. He wasn't crying out in pain. If your intestines were being ripped out, he wasn't screaming. It was more like crying and...
Yeah, what happened, if you haven't seen it, which we know you have, but Nicholas and Glenn were trapped on the top of a dumpster. They were completely surrounded by zombies, no way out, and Nicholas shoots himself in the head, kills himself, falls on Glenn, and the two of them fall off the dumpster into the horde of zombies.
Yeah.
Now, Nicholas is on top of Glenn.
It was very deliberate the way they fell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Nicholas found a way out.
Yeah. Good for
him. Nicholas
him.
has been a wimp since day one.
You know what? I tell you what, though. You see the look in his eyes?
Yeah.
Great acting, man.
Dude, he was a really good actor.
Oh, my God. I was like, this dude really is going to kill himself. Like, for real. If that gun was really loaded, he would do it. Great acting.
Yeah.
Hate him. But from what I hear, he's a really nice guy.
A real nice guy.
He's like the most hated person on that show.
Yeah.
If, in fact, his actions resulted in the death of Glenn, he would go down in history as being the
biggest
one of the
villain
most
ever.
characters ever.
Yeah.
But I think Glenn will be okay.
Me too.
He'll be okay. The other thing that came up was the wound to Rick's hand.
Nothing's going to come out about that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
It was a cut. It wasn't
It was a cut. It wasn't a bite.
I think what they're trying to do is, because in the comic, if you don't know this already,
too bad.
Rick,
leave the room.
Yeah.
Okay, now come back.
Okay, the Rick in that comic, he doesn't have a right hand. Due to something that happened when he was with the governor. And actually, Andrew Lincoln's been lobbying for the longest time to have his hand cut off in the show, and they just won't do it. So I think that was kind of a little nod to that when he just stared at his hand for a second, just to kind of give everybody to make us all talk, which is what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still something that I'm waiting to happen to Carl. Will it happen? Yes,
right.
no?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's not Carl. It's Coral.
Coral. Yeah. So,
was that accidental?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it was. Yeah.
And we will not divulge that information because that's pretty.
Well, if you haven't read the comic, seriously, get on it because I'm
Just get with life already.
So The Walking Dead, fantastic.
Yeah,
as
phenomenal.
always.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right up there, and just oh my god,
There hasn't been a lull in it yet. Normally they go into this little slow stage in the middle. We haven't gotten that yet. We're still stuck on one day. Wow.
Yeah, great stuff.
Can't wait for next week.
I can't wait for wait 2 days ago.
Yeah.
The 90-minute special that we didn't see and we saw, and it was great.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of flashbacks is what I'm getting.
Yeah, I think they're going to focus on
I'm going to focus on what Morgan's been doing. He's been,
cheese, was it? He learned that all from a cheese maker. Yeah, they were talking about it's a big thing. Yeah, there was a part in the show where they said, "Where did you learn how to use the bow staff like that?" And he mumbles cheese maker, and supposedly that's going to be a big deal about
cheese
it.
Maker?
A cheese maker, yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the Talking Dead, they talked about that as well.
Oh.
So there's a possibility that we might learn about a cheese maker taught him how to work the bow staff.
Hey, wait a minute. Is it this past Sunday that they're going? Is it this past Sunday that they're going to show the premiere of Into the Badlands?
No.
Oh, okay. It's going to be next Sunday. I don't know. We're lost in time.
It's something. It's like mid-November.
Into the Badlands looks pretty badass.
Yeah,
so.
I'll be watching that.
Yeah, we're going to check that out.
Nice.
We got a message from Nicholas Ramirez. He asked us about the show on Destination America, The Exorcism Live.
I have
Which
not been privy to that, no.
Is actually on tomorrow night, but was a few days ago. Again, time travel, I don't know. Are we going to watch it?
I don't really want to. I mean, I have no interest in it.
I don't either.
I have better things to do.
You know why? I don't have any interest? It's television.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to see an actual exorcism. We're going to see something that is irrefutable evidence that God and Satan and all of that exist on a show on Destination America.
I mean, I'm feeling like if I need a good laugh, a pick-me-up, maybe I'll tune in, but I doubt it. My life's great.
Yeah. I just can't see anything good coming out of it.
No.
However, this is Tuesday, and that was several days ago. We could look like idiots right now. The whole of modern society and Western civilization could be turned on its head because of what happened on that show last Friday night. So
Doubtful. Yeah, I will be watching, or I will have watched. Sundance is showing a marathon of The Return, the original, the French version.
That's right. What day is that? Was that on?
Halloween.
Oh, okay.
And season 2 has started by this time.
Yeah.
So that's tomorrow, last Friday.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Right. Oh, is Halloween Saturday?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Last Saturday.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? One more thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck on this TV topic for too long, but Lucha Underground news.
What?
Mm-hmm. Lucha Underground Season 2 news.
Should I be playing a news flash right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I saw some stuff about Alberto El Patron.
Mm-hmm. He's going back to WWE.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Going back to his Alberto Del Rio, right? I
Del
believe.
Rio, El Patron. He has a few different names, yeah.
Why would he go back?
The money.
Oh, well, that makes
creative
sense.
differences. Lucha Underground, from what I hear, from what I've read, he's going back, and I think he thinks I don't know if he gets better exposure there, if he can have a chance to be more of a champion there. I don't know.
WWE offered him at minimum $1.5 million.
Well,
okay,
yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I couldn't fathom that because I've never seen it.
Yeah. So, whatever. And as far as the creative differences thing, he wasn't happy with Lucha Underground. Apparently, I mean, this is all we don't know. This is I didn't talk
rumors,
to him,
gossip,
but
yeah.
He wasn't thrilled about the editing and how much screen time he was getting on Lucha Underground. But you know what? Everybody's got to look out for themselves.
Exactly.
And if you're a part of an ensemble show and you feel that you are very important, you're going to fight for screen time. And we know that the matches are edited for time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, a lot of things can happen in editing. If I let's say I took one of my books to another publisher. Mm-hmm. My book's done. It's done. I take it to them and they say, this is great. We're going to put it into a book with like 20 other creators.
Right.
And I say, okay, that's cool. You're going to bump me up to the front? Well, we're going to try. Well, I want to be in the front of the book.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, maybe I don't make it into the front of the book. Well, by the way, there's 20 other creators in this book. We're going to have to take your 24-page story, cut it down to about 16.
Yeah.
But trust us, we'll keep in all the good stuff. Well, what's good stuff to them might not be good stuff to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I might see that finished product and go, oh, God, you cut out a quarter of it, and it was some of my favorite parts, you know? So I get it. You know, people are giving him shit about it. Oh, screw him, you know. Hey.
No, I liked him and I miss him, but good luck.
Sure.
You do what you got to do. Yeah.
Sure.
Was he a key character on the show, or?
I want to say yes. I mean, when he
Yes.
came, he's known from Triple A, so he had a lot of fans.
Okay.
One of the champions.
And I think that's what WWE is banking on, too.
Yeah.
Is that they're going to be able to pull in the AAA fans
Gotcha.
to their show.
Do you think the last real heels will have a little bit more on this?
Probably not. Yeah, because those guys don't follow Lucha Underground. I don't
No.
really think-
No.
Yeah.
They're
You
too
don't think
heel
so?
for that.
They're probably at the temple right now in line.
Yeah, tune into those guys. They might have a little more on this. Maybe even some background stuff going on there.
Oh, yeah. 2 other quick things
Yeah.
about Lucha Underground. Actually, there's 3. I heard that season 2 is going to be 24 episodes they're filming. Wow. I also read that a wrestler named Melissa Anderson is going to be on the show.
Okay.
And she's going to be playing the sister of Marty the Moth.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
And here's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. There's rumor that in 2016, they're not only going to be doing a live event tour, but they're also going to be filming a sci-fi movie.
That's great.
A Lucha
Are
Underground
you kidding
movie.
me?
Oh my God.
Sign me up. I'm
I want
there.
to see Drago and Aerostar and all those guys in
Yeah.
Pentagon Jr. doing what they do best, and that's
I want to see Sharknado battle Lucha Underground.
no, not
No,
like
please,
that.
Come
no.
on.
No,
Don't
I
do
didn't say
that.
Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh.
I said a sci-fi movie. Yeah, 2 different things.
Question everything.
Yeah.
We made it through.
Yeah, it's time for questions.
All right. We have a question from Gary Fisher in Sydney, Australia. Okay, we know Mike is a comic artist and writer extraordinaire. Natalie loves cats, but what about Mr. Gomez?
Mr.
What's
Who's
he
that?
all about?
Who's Mr. Gomez?
What is
guess
he all
that would be
about?
you.
That's you.
Oh, me. I thought we were talking about the Addams Family.
No, that's Gomez Adams.
Me. Oh, God.
Well, he's so. I mean, if you dissect that question, the part about the Mike is a comic artist and writer extraordinaire, he's got that
Boy.
right.
Yeah.
So, what are you about?
Me, I'm about a human being. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys. So next,
all right.
Question.
yeah, there's really not much. I'm more the background guy. We got the celebrities sitting over here doing the show, and I kind of just sit in the background and ride the old coattails of Mike Wolfer.
If you guys have been listening,
Yeah.
you know that Vinny is not necessarily this horror freak
No.
like Natalie and I. No. She's freakier than I am.
I am.
She's a super freak. But you've got a lot of knowledge about a lot of different movies and shows, and we have our paranormal investigating interests in common. So that's
We definitely all have different tastes, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brings a variety. Yeah.
You know what's funny? That Natalie gets. Oh yeah, and there's Natalie, the crazy cat lady.
Yeah, that's all she is a crazy
Yeah,
cat lady.
and it's so funny because I copped such an attitude when I read this at first, and I'm just like, yeah, because that's all I freaking do. That's all I do is like cats. Thanks, Gary. No, I didn't take it personally, but it was just kind of like, really, is that how I come off? That all I have is cats, which isn't a bad thing. It's a pleasure. It's actually it's an honor because I love my cats. But
Well, here's the thing. Let me
Yeah.
go ahead and speak for you.
okay,
in case
please
you're shy.
do because I'll end up saying and stuff like that.
When it comes down to the Haunt Squad podcast,
Yeah.
and you look at the duties that each of us have, You and I, Vinny, don't do shit. Natalie does.
Yes, you do. Stop
be
it.
honest with
We
you.
have our own things. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. You guys do a heck of a lot more than I do on this show.
Every time we have a news story, Natalie does the research.
She's sitting there right now with a book and papers all over her lap. I'm sitting here just looking at the screen just to make sure everything's going right.
Yeah.
And you've got let's see, comic books, your breakdown of the show and everything else.
The editing.
Yeah,
I do the
We
editing.
all do our part, for sure.
Yeah, but Natalie handles everything that you guys see out there in social media, on Twitter and on the
all Natalie.
Facebooks. It's all Natalie.
Yep.
She looks up all the articles to post. She finds all of the photos, which throughout the month of October, we had all those awesome photo albums posted on Facebook with hundreds of photos. She looks all of those up and has to do all of the editing work.
And she knows how to count too, because I wouldn't have been able to put 3 days until Halloween. I would probably wind up putting 4 daes. Oh wait, no, I only edit that. So I think the brains of the operation is Natalie. The creativity is Mike, because you do all the editing of the show. You do all the intros to the show.
Yeah, all that stupid shit.
And then you come up with, the breakdown of the show. And then I sit here and try to make sure everything works.
Well, you're like the tech guy.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
If it comes to electronic equipment, it's all Vinny.
Because I know nothing about that.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Natalie and I show up and go, "Where's our microphones? Hey, these headphones aren't working. Fix that, Vinny."
God.
But as far as me is concerned, I like playing Xbox, moving, messing around with that. But as a matter of fact, just letting you know, the boys that I play with have now, we have a thread that goes on, and they've named a thread Iron Destiny's
Awesome.
Homeboys.
Good.
Oh, cool.
Because that is what you are.
Oh,
that was,
yes.
That was Vinny's Lucha Underground wrestler name.
Yes.
That's right.
Iron
And
Destiny.
I'm a big collector. Right now I'm into the Iron Man things, and I like Star Trek.
We are surrounded by Iron Man
Iron
things.
Man things
They're awesome.
all over the place. So I'm just a weird nerd that hooked up with Mike and Natalie, and we do a show together.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's me.
You know what this leads into?
What?
Talking about me.
Oh, here we go.
Now, we're talking about my comic stuff.
Yes.
And there's, you know what? I want to talk about some things about the world of comics and publishing and Kickstarter and all of that stuff, because there are a lot of comic book people who listen to the podcast. And actually, I don't know why anybody listens to the podcast, but I know there's comic people out there who I might have some information that I can share that could be helpful to them. I feel that my position after 30 years in the industry or whatever is to try to put out knowledge that can help others and can, squash some dreams. And no, I try to be real with people. I try to be real and tell it like it is without being negative. I'm just putting it out there. Hey, look, these are things to look out for.
Yeah, real
right?
talk with Mike.
Yeah, real talk.
Oh, you know what? Let's make a stinger for that. Real Talk with Mike.
Yeah. I'll have to get on that. Actually, by the time this airs, it might
You'll have one.
There you go.
It's time for Real Talk with Mike Wolfer, covering the world of indie comics from the inside out. News, gossip, and helpful tips for aspiring comics writers, artists, and publishers. It's all right here on Real Talk. Now here's your host, 30-year veteran of indie comics publishing, Mike Wolfer.
Okay, so here's the deal. I am a comic book writer and artist, and I publish my own work. I started my own company called Mike Wolfer Entertainment, and the first book I did was The Curse of Ragdoll, which was a graphic novel. Now I have moved into doing a regular monthly comic book series called Daughters of the Dark Oracle. It's distributed by Diamond Comic Distributors, who is pretty much the only comic book distributor in the world. It's the truth. They get my books into comic stores. Sounds great so far, right?
So far,
Sounds
I'm following
fantastic.
it. Yep.
All right, here's how it works. Here's how you get a comic into a comic store. I get up with Diamond and I say, listen, in the month of January, I want to put out a book called this. Here's a picture of the cover. Here's a description of it. Put this in your catalog. Diamond says, okay, we'll do that. They put it in their catalog. It takes about a month for the thing to get printed. Then the catalog has to get shipped to the comic stores. The comic store gets the catalog, and they use that to order their books for January 2016,
Gotcha.
which is like 4 or 5 months away. So they say, okay, we'll take 3 of those. We'll take 800 X-Men. No, mark that down to 100 X-Men because nobody likes the X-Men anymore. Whatever. They place their orders, send it to Diamond. Diamond compiles those orders from all the comic book stores in the world. They send it to me, give me a final number. I take that number and send it to the printer and say, look, I need X number of books.
Okay.
They print the book. They ship it to Diamond. Diamond ships it to the comic stores. Right. Sounds great so far, right?
I'm following you.
Well, the time lag is killer. There is such a span of time that passes between when I first contact them and say, here's my book, until that book actually hits the store. Now, here's the deal. Let's say Daughters of the Dark Oracle, Orgy of the Vampires, #1. Okay?
Yeah.
That's going to ship in November. Well, I sent that information to Diamond in like August.
Oh, okay.
Right? Issue 2 comes out in December. I sent that information to Diamond in September. Issue 3 comes out. These stores have to order the books so far ahead of time that they're totally guessing about the quality, if anybody's even going to want them. They
don't look at the reviews or anything like that?
There are no reviews because the book's not out yet.
Okay, so nobody's gotten your book yet just to say, hey, let me look at this book, a review or something, and then write something up about it, and then distribute that to the comic book stores just to kind of give an idea.
That's a whole nother subject that we may
Okay, so we'll get that with another
episode,
Mike.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But so the point is, the store basically, any store has to take a guess on whether or not my book is going to suck, and they have to order it, issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, issue 4, before issue 1 ever hits the stand, right?
Wow. Okay.
So, if you're a comic book publisher, you're going to see, if you put a #1 on your book, that looks good. That gets everyone's attention. Store owners will look at that and go, okay, it's a #1. Yeah, it's going to sell pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And then the next month they get the catalog and they go, #2. I don't know. What do you think? Let's consult the crystal ball and see what... I bet half as many people are going to be reading, so they don't order as many 2s.
So
and
they don't look like previous sales of the book or anything like
there
that?
are no previous sales because the book's not out yet.
Oh, okay. So we're talking in time.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Then with issue 3, they order a few, even less. Issue 4, they're like, no one's going to be reading this by then. We're going to barely order any. That's all before issue 1 has ever hit the stands for people to see it and go, holy crap, this is awesome. So what I saw with Daughters of the Dark Oracle, The Curse of Ragdoll, I saw that declination, made up a word, that decline in orders before issue 1 ever shipped. I think orders for #1 were somewhere around 1,500, I think. By the time issue 4 orders came in, it was down to like 900.
Wow.
Issue 1 finally hit the stores, and people went, oh, this is great. And they're hounding me. My store didn't have enough. They sold out. I'm like, well, I talk to your store.
Yeah.
Tell them you need more. Well, I did. They said they couldn't reorder it because of this and that. Yeah. Really? I got it with Diamond and said, hey, listen, do you guys have any in stock? They're like, we got plenty in stock. I'm like, well, people are saying that you don't have any. And they're like, well, we don't know what to tell you. And, so every comic book fan has to deal with going to their store and trying to figure out whether or not that person gives a shit about making them happy. Are they going to reorder that book? Because you can reorder that book. A lot of stores will go, it's for 1 book. Yeah. Well, Diamond says I don't have any more. I'm telling you, there's all kinds of crap that goes on. People just want their damn comic books.
Yeah.
And a lot of people make it difficult for them. Now, there are other stores who are on the ball, man. They're tracking orders and they see, oh shit, issue 1 sold out the day it was released. They'll throw in a reorder immediately for #1 and bump up their orders for 2, 3, and 4 because they know they ordered way before that thing ever hit the stands. So it's really difficult to make a living in the comic book market.
Well, can I ask you?
Sure.
do you have is your contract with Diamond? Is that something where you can you sell your own online even though you're distributing? So
I could.
If they didn't have any in stock, they can come directly to you.
They could
through your website or through whatever other.
They could do that, but Mike Wolfer is the kind of guy who's like team player.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
I say everybody in this industry should be helping each other out, and I should be helping the retailer stay in business. I should be helping Diamond stay in business,
Gotcha.
even if they're only making 20 cents off of a book. That's 20 cents they didn't have before. I'm not going to undercut you by selling directly to fans. I'm going to tell them, go to your store and bug the crap out of them and tell them to order that book for you. And if you can't, then go to another store.
Gotcha.
Also, I don't really have the time to do mail order.
Understood.
But the main thrust there is support your local retailer. So here's something else. I don't want to go on. I'm going to break this up over several episodes because I have a whole lot to talk about.
Okay.
Let's talk about sales. Okay? I said issue 1, Daughters of the Dark Oracle,
Right.
and Curse of Ragdoll, sold around 1,500 copies.
Okay.
People who aren't in the business might go, 1,500? That's a lot. Actually, it's not. It's not a lot of copies. Diamond gets 62% of the cover price of that book. That's the contract I have with them because they are distributing it for me, and they are paying for the shipping in order to get it into all of those stores.
Right.
They cut 62% right off the top. So for every $4 comic that I sell, I'm only making $1.60, roughly. Okay?
Gotcha.
Now, Diamond's not getting 62%. Here's a fallacy that a lot of people are like, well, screw Diamond. Who are they to take? No. Whoa. They take 62%. The store who ordered the book, they're actually getting about 50, I think. So Diamond's getting like 12% of the cover price. Diamond's not keeping all the money and screwing everybody. There's a lot of idiots out there. So I'm getting about 40. The store's getting about 50, and Diamond's getting about 10. Something. They're rough numbers. Now, if I'm only getting $1.60 per book,
right?
You know what the print cost is for one copy of a book? It's roughly $1 to print one comic book. So for every $4 comic book I sell, I'm making about 60 cents, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's say I sell 1,000 comic books. Let's say Diamond orders 1,000, and I'm going to get 60 cents. That means that I'm going to be making $600 off of that book, right? You know what the print cost for 1,000 books is? Well, if it's $1 a book, that comes up to $1,000. Oh, I'm $400 in the hole right there, right?
Oh my God!
Right? Oh, and guess what? I didn't take anything out to pay me for doing the art. If you want to make money in the comic business, you really need to be selling about 4,000 or 5,000 copies.
Oh my God!
Because you have to, you have to build in the pay. I'm working for free and losing money.
Yeah, I'm working for free too.
You are.
If the artist and writer gets the shaft, imagine what happens to the letterer.
You get it all the time. I mean,
I can't with you. What is the matter with you?
I mean, you get it with every issue. Anyhow.
You mean Shaft on El Rey? El Rey channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a bad
get it all
mother.
The time.
Shut your mouth.
Boy,
okay.
Oh boy.
So anyhow, there you go.
Wow.
That's the reality of it.
So it looks
That's
like
the reality
you're
of
going
it.
to be selling the Mike Wolfer Lamborghini.
What are the solutions? There are many solutions. Do more advertising. We'll get into that in another show. Do some networking. Yeah, we'll get into that in another show.
Yeah.
Oh, get on podcasts and do this and that and blah blah blah. Yeah, it all sounds great. Have you guys ever noticed how much I plaster myself all over Twitter and Facebook?
Yeah.
It's not working. Because somehow, and this is a universal quandary for all publishers.
Right.
How the hell do we reach the retailers? We don't know. It's a mystery. It's the holy grail of publishing. How do you reach the retailers and get their attention and get them to order your book? There's a lot of books that come out every single month. Hundreds and hundreds. So, it's really tough to be a store owner and take that risk.
Wow.
4 or 5 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
It's a tough market. But you know what makes it okay?
What's that?
You know what makes it worthwhile? Kickstarter.
Oh!
And that's why I do the Kickstarters. If you guys are wondering why I do these constant Kickstarters, that's why. It's so that I can stay in business. Because Diamond is incredible, and I love Diamond, and they are getting my books into stores, and I'm reaching all kinds of people I was not reaching before. Fantastic. However, I'm not making any money, and in fact, I'm kind of losing a little bit. And that's where Kickstarter comes in. You see, I run a campaign. I'm asking for $1,500, like Maximum Widow right now. I'm asking for $1,500. That's my goal. Well, I reached that. In a record 15 minutes, I hit my goal. I'm just incredibly thrilled.
Crazy.
Right now, it's almost to 7,800. Well, you know, I'm sure there's people looking at it going, yeah, what's Wolfer going to do with all that money? You know what I'm going to do with that money? I'm going to pay myself for the books that I'm losing money on. You know, that's where my page rate comes in, because I have to pay myself. So the people who are backing Kickstarters, you guys are helping to pay me for the work that I'm doing for you and putting out in the stores and blah, blah, blah. So,
and then you're getting your special items from the Kickstarter.
Well, that too. That makes it all worthwhile. The
so.
limited edition
Exactly.
signed in number things, which Natalie and I are in the middle of shipping right now.
Wow.
We're shipping out Daughters of the Dark Oracle Kickstarter, Widow Archives, Maximum Risk. I'm getting ready to send off... what the heck is it? I have so many going. Well, I'm working on Countess Bathory still. That one's like so freaking behind schedule. Working on the art for that. There's the Gruesome Goodies, Daughters of the Dark Oracle Gruesome Goodies Kickstarter. That stuff's going to press. That has those really cool model kit variant covers. I've got all this stuff going on, and it seems like my main job is running Kickstarters. Actually, it's not. My main job is to put books out through Diamond, but I have to do all the Kickstarter work in order to stay in business. So, yeah, we'll talk about it more in depth.
And then he
in the
does a
next one.
podcast.
Yeah, this is what I do for fun.
Oh, is this fun?
This is the fun.
Oh.
And you know what's really fun?
What's that?
These crazy themes that we come up with. And this one was yours. For
Yeah,
this one.
this was mine.
Haunted vehicles.
Yes.
You know, when you first threw that out there, I can only think of like 2.
Me too.
I'm like, yeah, that's a good one. It's going to be a short episode. But the more I got thinking about it, I came up with a bunch of cool ones.
Actually, I went online and looked up.
You cheater.
No. And I realized, oh my God, I've seen a lot of these things and I just forgot all about them. But yeah, I only came up with 2 initially. How about you, Natalie?
None that I like. I don't like any. No, actually, the ones that I came up with are ones that are kind of on Mike's top list.
Okay.
I'm going to let him go with it, and I'll just be like, yeah, that was one of them, because there really aren't many. In all honesty, I don't find haunted vehicle stories scary or very entertaining. I find them to be kind of silly.
Okay.
So
Well, it was kind of like the Halloween episode of the podcast with the ooey, gicky, gooky, gloopy. You know, Vinny's not into that either, so
yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah.
There's
It's all right.
2 that I'm really, well, actually 3 that I was really into, but then it was funny because I'm like, well, I'm going to go rogue, and I'll talk about ones where there was a driver of the vehicle, and I'm like, that's really a separate thing. I'm going to leave
now
that
you're
alone.
talking about, thriller.
Like
type.
Duel.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about like
And
the
Joyride.
Wraith or, you know, Death Proof.
But see, now the
Those are
Wraith-
not haunted vehicles.
Wasn't the Wraith, wasn't that a ghost driving the car? I mean,
But
it
still,
was
someone
the
was
Wraith.
driving the car. It wasn't like a possessed or haunted vehicle by itself. Like Christine, that's a haunted vehicle,
I would
you know?
say that would probably be the top on our list. Would
No
be
way.
Christine. No?
I thought it was
Really?
stupid.
You didn't like Christine?
Is that on your list?
It's on my list, yeah. You didn't like Christine?
Okay, I'm gonna let you
huh?
guys go with
Okay.
it because, I have nothing positive to say.
Oh, it's fine.
Wow.
I'm just saying, it's not my thing.
Stephen King, he's a hack.
I'm not going to ruin your fun. No, not at all.
It's not on my list.
No.
Nah.
Oh, it was one that I actually enjoyed. I read the story and I saw the movie.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was a little bit scary, I thought. It's been so long since I saw it. I think I only saw it in the theater, and I haven't seen it again since. Although I probably watched it on HBO.
The special effects were great.
They were pretty cool.
Yeah, when they crushed the car and then the car came back.
And
It was-
uncrushed it. Yeah.
I thought that was the most interesting part of it.
It looked good. It sounded good.
Yeah.
It was well acted. It was well edited. It was well shot. It wasn't like, oh my God, they filmed this with an 8mm camera and it's crap.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a movie.
Well, tell me some of yours.
Oh boy, I don't even know where to start. I really don't. I'll start at the bottom.
Start at the bottom.
Okay. You ever hear a killdozer?
I have, actually.
This is one of those where I didn't immediately think about it, and I had to rack my brain. What have I seen? And stuff started popping into my head.
Yeah.
Oh, Killdozer, of course. It was made for TV. It came out in 1974. Clint Walker was in it, and Robert Urich.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Who was in SWAT and Spencer for Hire. And you know what else he was in?
What?
He was in Soap. You know who else starred in Soap? Richard Mulligan. Whatever. Anyhow.
Oh, boy.
Theodore Sturgeon wrote that, and the basic premise was off the coast of Africa, there's a small island, and it's like some construction company there building some thing. And there's only a couple of dudes on the island, and they've got some construction equipment. And there's some kind of glowing meteor that lands on the island, and one of the guys is doing some work, and the blade of the bulldozer hits this rock, and it infuses the bulldozer with some kind of alien whatever, right? So you've got this killer bulldozer that's driving around on its own and chasing the guys around, and the thing's traveling at least 3 to 4 miles an hour.
No! Holding out your hand. No!
And I mean, I guess the idea was, well, it's a small island. There's nowhere to go. Well, yeah, but you can hear the damn thing coming from like 4 miles away.
You can't hide.
Yeah. It still gets them, though. It still manages to get them. And we watched it, and I forget if you said it or if I said it. Was one of us said, why don't they just climb up on the bulldozer and it can't get them? Just get on the thing.
You said that.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a good thought. But it was cool. For the time. I mean, I don't even know, like 11 years old or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have one, and it's another Stephen King one. Maximum Overdrive.
Oh. Natalie?
What?
Were we right? We were trying to guess.
We always try to
right?
guess who's
we
going to pick
try to
what.
guess what Vinny's picking because we know what era of films
that's
had
exactly
an impression.
it, yeah.
So we're like, let's see.
It's going to be Christine. It's going to be Maximum Overdrive. I knew that.
I got a few more. Yeah, well, Maximum Overdrive. We all know what that's about.
I don't know. I saw it, and I still don't know what it's about.
No?
Really, honestly,
I mean, well,
I don't quite get it.
Did you read the story, the short story?
No, I don't read books without pictures in them.
Oh.
Except for a few.
He's an elitist.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll give you a basic rundown on it.
Okay.
Maximum Overdrive. It's a little town somewhere in Arizona, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And something happens to all the automobiles and the construction equipment and the trucks. All of a sudden, they become aware and they take on a mind of their own and start killing their drivers.
Right, right.
Emilio Estevez, I think, was in it as well. Haven't seen it in a while. But basically, that's what it's about. The zombie vehicles just coming after you and killing you.
Right.
The one...
It was all machinery, though, right?
Yeah, everything. Everything mechanical.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of parts I remember from it. The truck with the Green Goblin's face on it.
Oh, sure.
That was creepy.
Yep.
There was one part where the kids were playing baseball and a killdozer. Was it a bulldozer? Oh, no, it was a road. It was one of those tar mashers that straighten out the road. It has a big metal wheel on it or something like that in the front. It comes into the...
Steamroller?
Is that a steamroller?
No, it's not, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And it comes into the baseball field and runs over a kid.
Oh, wait, we shouldn't laugh.
Oh.
That's horrible.
And then the guy is putting money into a soda machine, and the soda machine starts shooting the cans of soda at them. Yeah, that kind of stuff didn't scare me, but it was quite entertaining to see.
I watched the trailer for that just like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And Stephen King was on the trailer. Hi, I'm Stephen King. I'm the writer. And I'm like, oh, let's see where we're going. And he's like, I figured that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. A lot of people have made movies based on my books, and I'm directing this, and it's going to be, I'm going to scare the hell out of you, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, ooh, there's a lot of hype there. It didn't scare me.
No, it was more funny than anything else.
Yeah.
Like the guy who got caught in the electric window of the car, his head and arm were hanging out. It's like, why would you just pull your head back in and let the thing roll up and then break the window later?
Yeah.
Great soundtrack, though.
Yes, it was. Oh wow,
that rock and roll soundtrack.
Definitely.
That was cool. Okay, next up on my list is another one of those really obscure, creepy movies, The Ghost Galleon, which was one of the Armando de Osorio Blind Dead movies. It was the fourth one, came out in 1974. Basically, a ship comes out of the fog, and it's got zombies on it. Well, they're not zombies. They are the Templar Knights, the Blind Dead guys, who are those crazy skeletal-looking dudes with the dirty cloaks and the hoods. And, they're on the ship, and they do scary stuff. And then, of course, people who shouldn't be on the ship get on the ship. And, they all get murdered and ripped to pieces and all of that. But it was cool. It was a haunted ship. It was real creepy. The atmosphere was,
Yeah.
That, however you spell that.
Okay.
It was cool. And, I talked about these movies before on a previous episode, and I forgot to mention probably the coolest thing about them. The Templars are blind. They cannot see you, but they have great hearing. That's a great hook. You've got these things coming into the village, and they're... but they can't see you. So if you just stand there and keep your damn mouth shut,
you'll survive.
They'll go past you. But they can hear, if you're, oh my God, my heart's beating like crazy, they can hear your heart and zoom in on you, So it was really cool. Very scary stuff. Ghost Galleon.
It's funny you brought up the ghost type ship one. This one was called Ghost Ship. Came out in the late 90s, I think. I don't know. The only thing I remember about it was really bad. But the only thing I remember about it was they showed what happened before it became a ghost ship. And the whole crew and passengers went up on deck to have a party. And one of the cables snapped.
Wait a minute. Yes, I did see that.
God. Yeah,
I did. Yeah,
yeah. It wasn't a real memorable movie, but that part just kind of freaked me out. I don't know why. It just freaked me out. It just cut everybody in half, and the little girl was dancing with the captain, and then it just missed her, and then the captain just slides off his legs and falls over, and everybody's picking up their guts.
That was horrible. It's not funny.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, Ghost Ship.
Yeah. You know what else came out around that time?
What?
Probably one of the coolest haunted vehicle movies ever. A lot of people just kind of brush it aside and go, nah. Event Horizon.
Awesome.
That's probably my favorite. Yeah.
And they brush it aside because they say, oh, it's some sci-fi movie, spaceships and whatever. Yeah, it was a sci-fi movie with spaceships and whatever. But the story was about a ship called the Event Horizon, which it was on, like, its maiden voyage to test a gravity drive, was how the ship was going to travel. And it would kind of open up a man-made black hole in order to travel from one spot in the universe to the other instantaneously. Well, the ship disappeared, and it was gone for a while. And another ship sees that it's back. Oh, so they go to check it out. Here's the twist. That thing went into another dimension. The ship went in, and then it came back out. The other dimension it went into, hell. Yeah. So they go onto the ship, and they see that it's deserted. All the crew has been murdered. They're looking at video logs that were recorded, and how scary is that? Oh my God, the torture that was going on. And the captain, he's ripped his own eyes out, and he's holding them up to the camera, and he's saying, save yourself from hell in Latin. And oh my God.
Did everybody lose their mind? Is that what it was?
Nuts, man. The ship was taking over everybody. Sam Neill was in it.
Yeah.
He was the guy who created the gravity drive and was on this rescue ship. Oh boy.
Yeah, that creeped me out.
It was scary.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was.
Oh. Demon-y stuff. That's the only thing really that really gets under my skin as far as movies go.
I have one that I saw when I was a kid. It was called The Car.
Oh, well, that's my number one.
That's your number one?
That's number one on my list.
Well, would you do me a favor and explain it to me? Because I don't remember that movie that well.
It's about a car.
Okay, well, I'm reading the synopsis right now, and I can picture everything that was going on. I even know what the car looks like. I've seen people who actually made replicas.
It was a 1971 Lincoln Continental.
Yeah.
That the top was crushed down, so the windshield and the windows were very, very narrow. Crazy looking car.
Yeah, it was really neat looking.
Came out in 1977. James Brolin was the star of that. Here's the cool thing about this movie. There's this car that appears out of nowhere, and it's killing people. No explanation. None. You get no explanation throughout the whole movie. We know that no one's driving it, because at one point it stops, and the police officer goes up to it, shoots a couple bullets into the windshield, nothing happens. And then the passenger window comes down slowly, and he looks in, there's nobody in there. And the sound of that car, it was scary. And the thing just drove around, running people over in the Arizona desert. Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I remember one line from it said that it's the devil's car. That I remember that line, and now that you bring up the cop shooting at it and rolling, I remember that part. I just don't remember the movie. I know I saw it.
Don't want to spoil it for anybody, but okay, walk away. Okay, now come back. There's one scene, you think, okay, you go just stay off the street. You won't get run over.
Oh.
Just stay in your damn house. Well, there's one scene with one of the characters, and she's in the house, and she's talking on the phone, and she's like, well, I'm in the house, I'm okay. And through the window behind her, you see the headlights approaching.
That's hilarious.
The car just drives through the damn house to take her out. It was awesome. Very cool. That movie actually has a 18% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but
Gene
it's
Siskel called it the cinematic turkey of 1977. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about that movie, but it's one of my favorites.
If Vinny remembers that line, it's the devil's car. But
Yeah.
I remember the line, cat poo! Who doesn't remember that? Come on.
Awesome.
Fisty Shake cat poo!
Yeah, Fisty Shake, too. Yeah, the car had trapped some teachers and a whole bunch of kids in a cemetery.
Yeah.
And it couldn't go through the gates.
Yes, because it's holy.
And the car was pissed and was just revving its engine and freaking doing donuts all over the place and just pissed off that it couldn't get in there. And then it got driven off, and the old lady walks out, and yeah, cat poo.
Yeah.
Great movie. Love that movie.
The rest of the movies are more, we were talking earlier, like The Wraith, but
That's a different show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like the extent of my haunted vehicle type.
I have one more I want to throw out.
Yeah.
It doesn't really count, but you know what? It does count.
It does count.
You guys ever hear of the show The Wacky Races?
No.
It was a cartoon back like late 60s, early 70s. It had Dastardly and Muttley.
Oh, yeah,
and
I used to watch that.
Penelope Pitstop and
No.
Wasn't Yogi Bear in it? And
No.
the Flintstones?
No.
that was
no,
Hanna-Barbera
that's something
Races
different.
or something?
That's
Okay.
something different. There was a car called the Creepy Coupe, driven by the Gruesome Twosome. It was, a bunch of different cars, and they had different themes, and they all raced every week. And this one looked like a haunted house on wheels.
I've seen that design.
And there was like a big guy and then a little vampire guy, and they drove the car, and it had like a cloud that followed it with thunder and lightning and like dragon wings that would come out of the windows of the haunted house, and then it could fly, and it's like, it was cool. So I'm throwing that out there. That was actually a haunted vehicle, legit, because it was a haunted house on wheels.
Wasn't there something else you want to throw out there? No?
I don't know.
Really?
Like what?
The fog. I know it wasn't centered around. That wasn't the main thing.
That was similar to Ghost Galleon, but yeah, it was a ship.
It has a haunted ship in it, although it's
everybody
not, like
thinks everybody thinks of the fog as being
that's
the main thing, but where'd the fog come
Definitely.
from? It all came from that ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's worth a mention.
The fog is freaking awesome.
That's an awesome movie.
The original.
The original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adrian Barbeau, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Atkins. Oh, it doesn't get and it's Carpenter.
Yep.
Well, I guess it could get better than that, but damn good movie. I love that movie.
John Carpenter directed Christine.
He did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Huh.
Maybe that's why it wasn't that bad. I never think of that as being on his resume. I don't know why that
Didn't
is.
like it. Sorry.
Yep, so we're breaking down. All right, cool. Well, I guess that wraps it up. For
I
this
think
week.
so.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
What?
I would like to say something.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to say on behalf of Han Squad, thank you to everyone. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to everyone who has liked us on Facebook, our followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
What was it that we were ranked on Podomatic?
Every day we have a different ranking, but it seems like every Tuesday and Wednesday when the episodes come out and people start listening, we've been up in like the
high 60s.
Yeah, the 60s in the comedy category on Podomatic.
Yeah, and that means a lot to us. So you just want to say
yeah.
thank you for your support.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and also, too, if you guys are listening on iTunes, what is it called? Is it reviews?
Well, actually, you can hit the like button and actually like us, review us, and just give us some stars, because that actually helps us out later on when we want to do an interview with maybe, I don't know, John Carpenter.
Well.
But yeah, go over to iTunes and definitely rate us on there. Even if you don't listen on iTunes and you use Podomatic, go over to iTunes anyway and just hit us up and put a like on us. That's all.
Why not?
All right, guys.
Why not? Yeah, you know what?
What?
Little preview of next week.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to talk very briefly next week more about comics, little bits of knowledge that might help some of my compatriots out there. But our theme for next week?
What's that?
Bombires.
What's a bompire?
Find out next week.
Oh.
Stay spooky.
Hi. My name is Stephen King. I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.